Hi, I'm Claudia Cornett here at the Downtown Beaufort Library with the February 4th speaker in the 31st Annual Book Sandwiched In Book Talk Series, sponsored by Friends of the Library. Jonathan Haupt is Executive Director of the Pat Conroy Center, located in downtown Beaufort. Jonathan is a native of Hazard, Kentucky, and holds a BA in English and History from the University of Tennessee. He also holds a master's in English from Southern Illinois University. Prior to relocating to Beaufort, Jonathan directed the South Carolina Press. He is editor with Nicole Seitz of the new book, Our Prince of Scribes, Writers Remember Pat Conroy. So Jonathan, why did you choose your own book for your Book Sandwiched In Book Talk?
Thank you, Claudia. It's wonderful to be part of Book Sandwiched In this year. I've been attending the program as long as I've been able to, and the Conroy Center has been supporting it as a sponsor these past 2 years. So when I was given the opportunity to present a book this year, I thought, wouldn't it be a wonderful thing to present Our Prince of Scribes, which I don't really think of as my book. I'm one of 67 contributing writers to it, and actually 4 of us will be presenting for Book Sandwiched In addition to me. Pat's widow and fellow Southern novelist Cassandra King Conroy will be with us, Pat's lifelong friend Bernie Shine, and Pat's student from Defusky Island, Sally Ann Robinson, will be part of the panel too. And all 3 of those folks have brand new books coming out later this year, which I hope we'll get to talk about a little too.
Well, will you talk a little bit to begin with about the title, Our Prince of Scribes?
Certainly. Well, obviously, it's a little bit of a pun on Pat's most famous book, Our Prince of Tides, but really the theme of the book and what we wanted reflected in the title is that this is really a collection of stories about Pat as a lifelong teacher and mentor to writers, to scribes, and that's who the scribes are. The 67 writers in the book include Pulitzer Prize winners and New York Times best-selling writers, and other folks who are perhaps completely unknown outside of their small towns, but they came into the orbit of Pat Conroy. They came to be known and befriended by Pat Conroy because his orbit was so big and so inclusive. And we wanted a title that really honored not just Pat, but all of the contributing writers as well. And I think we landed on a good one.
Are there some, well, I know there are some themes or big ideas that run across these essays.
Sure, absolutely. What surprised me so much, and this I think would be true of Nicole Seitz, my co-editor as well, we began this project over 2 years ago when Pat Conroy was still alive, and we started receiving the essays in just shortly after he passed away, when all of us were still very much grieving this loss of this larger-than-life figure. But what's so amazing about the essays and what the writers shared with us is how many of these stories are intimate, are very personal, where the only 2 people who ever knew this happened was the writer and Pat Conroy. And he had this wonderful way of finding you when you needed somebody, when you needed a champion, when you needed an advocate, and stepping into your life and saying the right thing, introducing you to the right person or recommending the right book. And that shows up time and time again in these stories. What they've done, and we never really expected this to be the case and we're just blown away when it happened, but what the essays do is tell the complete story of Pat Conroy's writing life from high school to death, because that's the time span in which this particular group of writers knew him.
So is it organized chronologically?
It is, and that's all due to Nicole Seitz, who is an accomplished novelist, as well as her many other skill sets. She took 67 seemingly disconnected essays and figured out a plot, an arc, a narrative to them. And they are arranged in loose chronological order. So you really do see Pat develop as a teacher, as a mentor, as a writer, not as he would have described himself, but as everyone else saw him and experienced him. And that's a really beautiful thing to be able to share.
Is there a quote or a little passage from the book that would be a little appetizer for our viewers that you could read?
Well, it just so happens that I flagged a page.
All right.
As though I knew you were going to ask me that. Yeah, and I'm not going to read from my own essay, which is the introduction, but I do want to read just a short paragraph here from, this is from the end of Nicole Seitz's essay, and while it's in Nicole's voice, I think it's very much true of many of the contributors here. I do know this, even in death, Pat is still graciously giving. I will spend the rest of my writer days trying to honor this man. It is with sincere regret that I didn't realize sooner that he was just a man, nothing as large as the pedestal I'd put him on. If I had figured this out sooner, I might have allowed myself into his orbit. But some people shine so brightly in this earthly life that it can be blinding. Pat Conroy was no god. He was simply a man, a flawed, authentic, brilliantly talented man bestowed with gifts of the pen and the heart, both of which he used well. And in the end, it doesn't matter if he knew my name, because I know his. and it's one I hope to help carry on.
Jonathan, thank you so much for giving us a preview of what promises to be a popular book talk. And everybody can hear the entire 45-minute panel discussion of our Prince of Scribes, Writers Remember Pat Conroy. It happens on Monday, February the 4th. It's a 45-minute book talk, and the venue is USCB's Center for the Arts at 805 Carteret Street in downtown Beaufort. All BSI book talks are free and open to the public, and they start at noon. But doors open at 11:30, so come early for free coffee and cookies and good conversation. If you'd like a full schedule of all of the book talks, pick up a rack card at the Beaufort Library. You can also go to the website, which is thebeaufortlibrary.com, or you can email the friends at friendsbeaufort@gmail.com.